Before we begin, if you think the title of this video is unfair, Beanie has described himself as this in his own Twitter bio. Right, let's go. Aaron Beanie was born on New Year's Day 1984 in Sittingbourne, Kent. He began to play darts when he was around 14, where he practiced with his granddad and he also played with his parents. He once played in a Division 2 pub team where he struggled to get wins. He eventually moved to London, where he began to work as a prison officer in 2008, and at this point he stopped playing darts. He worked at HMP Pentonville, and a colleague eventually convinced him to get back playing. Beanie then began to play in the UK prison staff tournaments, which spurred him on to practice. The UK prison system have a darts team which is made up of staff who have a game against the Danish prison system every year. Beanie played in this one year, travelling over to Denmark, and he won the event, which was his first ever win in a tournament. PDC Nordic and Baltic managers Michael Friedenau and Jan Hoffmann, who both used to work in Danish prisons, were at the event with the Danish team and spoke to Beanie after the event, telling him to begin to take the game seriously as he had what it takes to go pro. Following this, he attended Q School at the start of 2018, where he won 4 games across the 4 days but didn't secure a tour card. He then competed on the 2018 Challenge Tour, where in 20 events he only made it to the last 32 ones, which happened in the final event. He ended this year having earned just £150 on the Challenge Tour. He didn't compete in any PDC events in 2019, but made his return at Q School in 2020. At this point, he had made just 3 appearances for the London County team. He had a bad first day, losing in the first round with an average of 69.3, and an even worse second day, once again falling at the first hurdle, this time with an average of 64.9. On the third day, he got taken to a last leg decider in his first game, but was able to beat Jamie Woodhouse with an average of 70.7. He then improved his average to over 74 for his next 3 games, which he won. In his third game of the day, he faced now tour card holder Scott Williams. His average fell below 80 in the last 32, but he managed to beat Matthew Finch in a sudden death leg. He then won 5-3 in the next 2 rounds, beating Dave Ladley and Martin Adams with averages over 87. This meant that he was through to the semis, where a win would give him a tour card. He faced former Find the Darts Masters youth champion Jared Cole. In this game, which went to a last leg decider, Beanie hit ball to finish 87 to win the decider in 12 darts and remarkably win a tour card, despite averaging just 83.3 over the day and surviving match darts in the final. In his interview after this win, he described himself as a pub player. Following on from this win, criticisms were made of the Q School system, as many felt that Beanie got a lucky draw and that one average day had got him professional status for the next 2 years. He lost his first 8 games on the tour, with only 2 of his averages being higher than 80 and 1 of them being lower than 70. During his game against Stephen Bunting in his second Players Championship event, he appeared on the streaming board. Next up was his first PDC major, the UK Open, which he automatically qualified for as a tour card holder. In Minehead, he lost 6-3 to Wesley Harms with another sub-80 average. He then lost his next 4 games with no averages above 85. In-person PDC tournaments were then suspended for 4 months due to the COVID-19 pandemic, and Beanie continued to work as a prison officer during the lockdowns, completing some overtime and earning a promotion. The PDC then returned with a 5 Players Championship event summer series, where he showed great signs of improvement. Despite losing 6-3 in the first round on the first 2 days, he had an average of 88. His average fell to 81 in the first round on the next day, but he was able to secure his first win on the Pro Tour. He beat Scott Waits in a last leg decider to end a 15-game losing streak. He then lost in the next game with a similar average. On the next day, he hit his first 90+ average in the PDC, but lost in a deciding leg to James Wilson. His average fell below 80 in the final Summer Series event, and he was beaten in the first round in a deciding leg. After this block, he was signed by Loxley Darts, who produced darts for him. 2 months later, at the next block of 6 events, he didn't average over 86 once, but he was able to get his second Pro Tour win, beating Christian Bunter 6-3. 2 months later, there was another block of 6 events, where despite not averaging over 88 once, he managed to pick up 2 wins, beating Michael Barnard 6-4 and Joe Mernon 6-5. His last event of 2020 was the PDPA World Championship qualifier, where he lost in the first round to Martin Atkins with an average of just 73. He ended 2020 having earned just £2,000. In his first game of 2021, he lost 6-2 with an average of just 71. However, on the next day, he got his second 90-plus PDC average in the first round, where he beat Jason Lowe 6-2. Then came the crazy moment, where he managed to beat the then world number 1 and reigning world champion Gerwyn Price in a sudden death leg. He went out to John Michaels 6-0 in the next round, but this was the first time that Beanie had won 2 games in an event and earned him the biggest payday of his darting career at £1,000. He lost on the next 2 days with averages over 80. Next came the UK Open, where he made his TV debut in the first round against Lisa Ashton. Ashton won the first 2 legs before Beanie won the next 2 to make it a level game. However, Lisa then won the next 4 legs to wrap up a 6-2 win, in which she set the highest TV average thrown by a woman at 100.3. At the next Players Championship event, he got another win, beating Gordon Mathers 6-5 before facing Lisa Ashton again, and the outcome and result were the same, as Beanie lost 6-2 to the Lancashire Rose. At the next 3 events, which rounded up the block, he picked up 2 wins. In his first win, he set his best PDC average, beating Dirk van Dijvenbode 6-5 with an average of 99 before beating Mark McGeaney 6-1 on the next day. The next block of 4 events was his best in the PDC. He was whitewashed by Willie O'Connor on the first day, but bounced back to reach his first PDC semi-final on the next day. During this run, he averaged over 80 in every game and hit the third 90-plus average in his PDC career. He also beat 2 world champions, Rob Cross and Raymond van Barneveld, before being stopped by Michael Smith. He picked up 2 more wins at the final event of this block, winning back-to-back last leg deciders. He got 1 win at the next block of 4 events and hit another 90-plus average. At the first event of the next block, he averaged nigh on 97 in both games, beating both Matt Jackson and Joe Cullen. He improved his average to 90 in the next game, but lost to Stephen Bunting. On the next day, he averaged 97, but lost 6-1, and he lost in the first round of the next 3 events, before beating Jamie Hughes in the Eurotour qualifier. He beat Martin Lukeman in the World Series of Darts Finals qualifier, which came 5 events later. It was during this block of events that he picked up his last win as a tour card holder, where he beat Neil Zonneveld. He also hit 2 90-plus averages during this block. He then lost in the first rounds of the next 3 Players Championship events and the Grand Slam and World Championship qualifiers. He averaged over 90 in his last game as a tour card holder. He had earned £8,500 from Players Championship events in 2021, a big increase on the previous year. He attended Ali Pali at the end of the year, but as a fan. Beanie then lost his tour card and failed to win it back at Q School, where his only 3 wins came on the final day. He attended the first 5 Challenge Tour events of 2022, winning in the first round on the first 2 days, before losing at this stage in the next 3. He has not appeared in a PDC event since, and did not attend Q School in 2023 as he was waiting for surgery. In 2022, he won the Prison Service International Championship for the 4th time in a row. He appeared on the Modus Super Series in 2023, where he beat both Chaz Barstow and Andy Hamilton. This video was not made to diminish Beanie, rather to show the improvements he made as a tour card holder. It is everyone's dream to make it as a pro, and Aaron did that, and had some great moments over the 2 years, including beating the world champion. Thanks for watching, don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you enjoyed the video, make sure to turn on notifications so you can see whenever I upload a new video.